lasts and never ends. Tune and lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Well, hello to you, and you. Hopefully your Thursday went well. Welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. I know y'all like, Braylon, come on, bro. Really? Are we really doing this? Yes, we're going to have the conversation, okay? We're going to update some things, but we're also going to break down some things, okay? As we often say, breaking it down and lifting it higher, feel the rhythm and spark the fire. And that's exactly what we're about to do with Milagro, Gramz, in this conversation about new media. Higher is waiting, lower is available, but either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have you here for another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here. Now, listen. I'm a dog walk this tonight because I have something for you toward the end of the show that a lot of Gramz don't know, Bob Ray don't know, and her supporters don't know. And believe me, you're going to be surprised by it. We'll get to that. With that being said, let's kick it off here because I always love to start with a good foundation. So, with that being said, let's do this. This woman right here, her name is Ida B. Wells, right? She was an investigative journalist, sociologist, educator, and early leader in the civil rights movement. She was one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. Wells dedicated her career to combating prejudice and violence and advocating for African-American equality, especially for women. Okay? Throughout the 1890s, Wells documented lynching of African-Americans in the United States in articles and through pamphlets such as Southern Horrors Lynching Law in all of its bases and the Red Record, which debunked the fallacy frequently voiced by whites at the time that all black lynching victims were guilty of crimes. Wells exposed the brutality of lynching and analyzed its psychology, arguing that whites use lynching to terrorize African Americans in the South because they represent economic and political competition, thus a threat of loss of power for whites. She aimed to demonstrate the truth about this violence and advocate for measures to stop it. So, just wanted to bring up Ida B. Wells, a journalist. Okay, just wanted to bring her up. We always start with a good foundation. Now, the next journalist we're going to talk about here is a woman very close to my heart, Daisy Bates. She was a civil rights activist, publisher, journalist, and lecturer who played a leading role in the Little Rock integration crisis of 1957. Okay, so with that being said, in her book, The Death of My Mother, Bates recounted learning at the age of 8 that her birth mother had been raped and murdered by 3 local white men and her body thrown into a mill pond where it was later discovered. Learning that no one was prosecuted for her mother's murder stoked Daisy's anger about injustice. Her adopted father, Orly Smith, told her that the killers were never found, that the police showed little interest in the case. Daisy wanted vengeance. My life now has a secret goal to find the men who had done this horrible thing to my mother. She eventually identified one of her mother's killers at a commissary. She stumbled upon a gaze from a young white man, that would imply that he was involved. After this interaction, Daisy would go there often to belittle the drunken man with just her eyes. The young man later pleaded with Daisy, "In the name of God, leave me alone," and he drank himself to death and was found in an alleyway. Now she began to hate white people out of hope and concern. Her doctor father gave her some advice from his deathbed. You're filled with hatred. Hate can destroy you. Don't hate white people because they're just white. If you hate, make it count for something. Hate the humiliations we are living under in the South. Hate the discrimination that eats away at the South. Hate the discrimination that eats away at the soul of every black man and woman. Hate the insults hurled at us by white scum. Then try to do something about it, or your hate will spell a thing. So even though Daisy Bates had every right to be upset, this, that, and the third, her dad told her, make sure your hate stands for something. Now, did Milagro's hate stand for something? Listen. So, with that being said, Orla Smith died when Bates was a teenager, leaving her with her mother. Bates deeply appreciated her father, leading to her own assumption that she married her husband because he shared similar qualities with her father. Bates had great adulteration for the man, where she couldn't remember a time when this man I call father did talk to me almost as if I were adult. So, in contrast to their relationship, Daisy had a austere relationship with her brother. Susan Smith would punish Daisy, who was often clobbered, tamed, switched, and even made to stand in the corner. Even after the death of Holy Smith, the two had a falling out. So, with that being said, she started dating Lucius Christopher Bates, an insurance salesman who also worked on the newspapers in the South and Southwest. Daisy was only 15 years old when they first met, and Lucius was still married to Cassandra Crawford. Lucius divorced his first wife in 1941 before moving to Little Rock and started the Arkansas State Press. Okay, so the Arkansas State Press here was primarily concerned with advocacy journalism and was modeled off of other African-American publications of the era, such as the Chicago Defender and the Crisis. Civil rights stories were displayed on the front page. It ran stories about the achievements of Black Arkansans, as well as social, religious, and sporting news. It also reported incidents of racial discrimination. Pictures were also in abundance throughout the paper. The paper became an avid voice for civil rights even before a nationally recognized movement had emerged. Daisy Bates was later recognized as the co-publisher of the paper. If you guys remember Brown versus the Board of Education, right? Basically, to desegregate or not, the Arkansas State Press became a fervent supporter of the NAACP's integrated public school events. The State Press editorialized, we feel that the proper approach would be for leaders among the Negro race, not the Clabbermouths, the Uncle Toms, or the Auntie Tomishas, or Tamashas rather. And no disrespect to anybody named Tamasha. It's just an example for where we are. Uncle Tom, Auntie Tomisha. So if it ain't you, don't pick it up. Or grinning appeasers to get together and counsel with the school heads, right? So with that being said, Daisy Bates helped these 9 Black kids go to a school called Central High School, right? So 3 years earlier, following the Supreme Court's ruling, the Little Rock School Board pledged to voluntarily desegregate schools. This idea was explosive for the community, and much like of the South, it was fraught with anger and bitterness. On September 2nd, 1957, the night prior to what was to be the team's first day in Central High classrooms, Arkansas Governor Oral Faubus ordered the state's National Guard to block the entrance. Faubus said it was for the safety of the 9 students. On September 4th, just 24 hours after federal judge ordered the Little Rock Knights began attending Central High, immediately a belligerent mob along with the National Guard prevented the teens from entering the school. 16 days later, right, a federal judge ordered the National Guard moved once again on September 23rd. The Little Rock Knights attempted to enter the school, escorted by Little Rock police into a side door. Another angry crowd gathered and tried to rush into Central High School, right? So they were able to attend class for 3 hours. Then, on September 25th, 1957, following a plea from Little Rock's mayor, Woodrow Mann, President Dwight Eisenhower federalized the National Guard and sent the U.S. Army troops to the scene, and partially guarded by the soldiers from the National Guard and the Army's 101st Airborne. The Little Rock now began regular class attendance at Central High. So, this scene right here, right? 9 Black kids going to the school. Had not been for these 9 Black kids and Daisy Bates learned that lesson from her dad of making your hate stand for something And without Ida B. Well showcasing what lynching was about, Milagro Gramz would not be able to say this.
I'm not out of the airport yet, but I did just get word that the judge did sign on the dotted line. So the order is official. Defamation was thrown out. She recognized me and agreed with the jury that I am media. So I'm gonna need all y'all to correct some different things that y'all have put online. Okay?
So we're going to correct some things, but we're also going to dog walk this shit. Okay? All right. So with that being said, let's look at the response here. Okay? Here we go from the shade room.
And I'm so appreciative of you guys. Somebody said, I heard you lost your lawsuit. I heard you should go stream. I heard you blocked too. Listen, all I'm ever gonna do is block y'all. I don't get on the internet and cry about what y'all say.
Interesting. Very interesting. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Because there was an interesting article that was written. We'll get to that here in a little bit.
So thank you for the engagement. And so shout out to New Media. Like I said, thank you to everybody that has supported me. And hold on, let me block you too, baby. Hold on. Hold on. See, you see all these fans of mine? You see how they gonna run over here to come see me? As always, we love you back. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I can't wait for us to get back to it because we ain't even did a show in a while. So I'm excited about that. And child, one chapter closes, another one opens. Don't let certain things be the end of your world. You know what I'm saying? Hold your head up, chin up, buttercup, and keep it moving.
So, right now, at the time, Milagro had to pay $75,000 in damages and Megan's legal fees, right? But it was the media defended thing. But you said that you don't get on the internet and cry, right? That's what you said. What's this article then? Milagro Gramz pleads for help in Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit. The blogger claims she's in financial distress and is using crowdfunding to raise legal funds. But yet you don't get online and react to what people say about you, but yet you got online and crowdfunded. After confidently pronouncing that she had nothing to worry about. Now, this is what Milagro said, right? She had nothing to worry about after Megan Thee Stallion filed a defamation lawsuit against her. Milagro Gramz is now seeking help. In a statement pinned to the top of her Twitter account, Gramz says she is looking for financial resources to help wager the court battle against the globally famous rapper. So, right here on that Tuesday, Gramz, whose full name is Milagro Elizabeth Cooper, wrote, "I'm being sued. I need some money. Here goes the story, and we'll tell everybody." So, you don't get online, right? But yet you did this, though. I'm a little confused, right? Gramz also turned to a crowdfunding site to elaborate on her current conundrum. Like many from my generation, I have used the internet to build a community and speak to issues that are important to me, Gramz writes. So in doing so, I defended Tory Lanez with claims that he had committed a heinous crime. This decision has put a target on my back and mounting legal fees that could result in a miscarriage of justice. So there is that. But yet you don't get online and react to what people say about you, right? So, okay, let's keep going. Shout out to Live Bites, by the way, for capturing this rapper. So here we go. Refresh this. We're going to dog walk this thing because I really want to have a full-blown conversation with y'all and see, is New Media really about paying people and being found guilty in a court of law? Here we go.
I'm going to start working on my mixtape because apparently the only place where you can bully people and talk crazy and pop shit is in the studio. But anywhere else is off limits, So I'm gonna go get on my mixtape shit and make sure I channel all my energy into my raps and put that out and let that be artistic expression. But I love you guys so much. I hope that y'all can see the bigger picture and that you understand what new media is. I hope that you understand that the things that we do and the work that we put in is valuable. And yeah, solid bitches, they ain't built, they born. You understand? So I'm happy that I stood up for something that I believed in, followed it all the way through, and I don't need validation from anybody else about those things. So I love you guys.
So you don't need validation, but yet you're thanking your fans now. You don't need validation, but yet you're thanking your fans. You don't need validation, but yet you're thanking your fans. So I'm confused. If you are that boss bitch, why did you get online and thank people if you didn't need validation that you did nothing wrong? Let's keep going.
I'm gonna start working on. And I'm so appreciative of you guys. Somebody said, I heard you lost your lawsuit. I heard you should go stream. I heard you blocked too. Listen, all I'm ever gonna do is block y'all. I don't get on the internet and cry about what y'all say. So thank you for the engagement. And so shout out to new media. Like I said, thank you to everybody that has supported me. And hold on, let me block you too, baby. Hold on. See, you see all these fans of mine? You see how they gonna run over here to come see me? As always, we love you back. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I can't wait for us to get back to it because we ain't even did a show in a while. So I'm excited about that. And child, one chapter closes, another one opens. Don't let certain things be the end of your world. You know what I'm saying? Handle your shit, hold your head up, chin up, buttercup, and keep it moving.
So you try to use reverse psychology as saying all your fans, right? You do realize that you're a public figure. And you do realize that you lost. So those were not fans. Those were people telling you off that you're a liar. In the words of Angela Bassett, you a lie, you a cheat, and we don't want you, we don't want you, we don't want you no more. From the Jacksons, The American Dream, shout out to that great movie, right? So I was wondering something, because Milagro said she was going to go into the studio. It says right here, yes, lyrics can be used as evidence in court, but they must meet certain legal standards of relevance and be balanced against their potential for unfair prejudice. Courts will only admit lyrics if there's a direct connection to the crime, such as describing specific details of the offense, and if their probative value, how much they prove the case, is not outweighed by the risk of being unfairly biased. So right here, direct connection to the crime. Lyrics are more likely to be admitted if they contain specific details that match the alleged crime, like a unique scenario, location, or victim, according to the Freedom Forum and Farber Balsam Punning Ferrari LLP. Proof of intent or knowledge. Lyrics may be used to establish a defendant's state of mind or their knowledge of criminal activity, explains Wake Forest Law Review. For example, if lyrics describe a specific crime a defendant is accused of committing, a judge might rule that they are relevant to proving intent. Evidence of a specific offense. If the prosecution can show lyrics directly referring to a real crime, a judge may allow them. Notes Snyder, lawyer. So, but you want to go in the studio though? Okay, cool. Let's keep going now to update everybody. Yes, the judge did toss Megan Thee Stallion's defamation claim against milagro Gramz. This is for Hot New Hip Hop. Right here, Megan Thee Stallion is still entitled to $59,000 for the other counts in her defamation lawsuit against milagro Gramz, despite the jury in Megan Thee Stallion's lawsuit against milagro Gramz finding the blogger liable for defamation. Judge Cecilia M. Matonga has now thrown out that count on the determination that Milagro is a media defendant. Keep that media defendant right here. I want you to keep it right here for a minute. Like I said, I did find something that I think might shake the table. It just might. That's wrong. Has thrown out that count on the determination that Milagro is a media defendant, and the rapper's lawyers never mentioned informed her rather of the lawsuit. Untonga entered the final judgment in the case on Tuesday. She confirmed that Megan will still get $59,000 for the counts of intentional infliction of emotional distress and promotion of an altered sexual fiction. The circumstances led to tons of confusion over social media over the last 24 hours, to which Megan herself issued a clarification on Twitter, responding to Megan Knuff, sharing the letter from her lawyers. Megan wrote, "Thank you. Here they go, lying as usual. If you want real media / news, know how to be patient and know how to read." The letter explains, contrary to public statements issued by Milagro's attorneys, the court has not issued a final judgment regarding the defamation count. The judge will make a final ruling and determine the entire financial amount that Milagro will be required to pay Megan, inclusive of legal bills and defamation count at a later date. So here from Megan Knuff here. Megan Thee Stallion originally filed a lawsuit back in 2024. She accused Milagro Gramz of allegedly spreading numerous falsehoods about her in the wake of the 2020 Tory Lanez powing, as well as reposting deep fake pornographic videos of her. Despite Judge Untonga throwing out the defamation claim, she could still rule that Milagro Gramz must refrain from making any public statements about Megan going forward. Megan's lawyers appear to be happy with the end result. The aforementioned letter, her lawyer Marie Henderson wrote, "We are thankful for the jury's commitment to reinforcing the importance of truth, accountability, and responsible commentary on social media. Not only is Milagro being held accountable for paying Megan's compensatory and punitive damages, but Florida's fee-shifting legal provision will require her to cover the cost of Megan's legal bills on the deepfake claim. This verdict sends a clear message that spreading dangerous misinformation carries significant consequences." And, listen, God forbid in the future, because Poetic Flacco in his video said, "This is a win for you. This is a win for me. This is a win for all of us." God forbid Poetic Flacco gets shot somewhere on his body or in the foot. Same with his mother, sister's, his daughter or daughters, his wife if he has one, nieces, cousins, grandma, or any woman in his life, or him. God forbid it happens to any of the women that Milagro cares about. That includes her daughters, not wishing that on anybody, by the way. Or if it happens to Milagro or anybody that supports Milagro and the women in their lives that they care about, right? That's my radio. But I can't help but think, if that were to have happened to them and somebody would attack them with the same vitriol, hatefulness, and just derogatory behavior, would you be okay with it for your life personally? That's the main question. Not anything bad at all on any of the people that I've just said, but just asking the question, okay? Now, I want to go to this, right? This is from Megan Knuff here. And if you're looking for where this article is, it's from this article that was published November 23rd, 2025. So I want to go down here, back to this, because I feel like this is a very important point. We're just breaking things down. Right here. Megan's lawyer's brief uses Milagro's own words against her. "Everything is not meant to be a news report. I did not tell anybody I was a reporter. I ain't never told you I went to school for journalism. You don't need to be a journalist to see something and give an opinion on it." It also says Milagro is a media defendant because nothing has changed since Judge Untonga's order. She is not media and thus did not need to be notified of a possible civil action. Defendant's function has never been to impartially disseminate information or inform on matters of public interest. According to the brief, defendants spread of misinformation, charged commentary on matters that lack a connection with the public interest, such as Ms. Pete's alleged mental status or status or family background, and evidence of defendant being commissioned by the Pearsons to publish her statements, all underscore defendant's non-media status. McLemmons finally says Judge Untonga must undergo a new analysis at this stage regarding Milagro's media status. And analysis at this stage yields a different result. He cited her conversation had for 5-hour shows 5 days a week, which she had since 2021. Ms. Cooper has operated her own radio station talk show as a career to feed her family since 2021. She is paid just under a six-figure salary as an independent contractor for station head. She has no other source of income not related to media hosting, according to the brief. McGlemons finally says John Chatunga. Oh, yeah, I already read all that. Sorry. The brief doesn't mention this, and jurors have not heard this, but Milagro testified in a deposition that the contract pays her $6,300 a month. Megan's lawyer said in a 6-page reply, Milagro does not qualify as a media defendant, even if she makes money from her defamatory conduct. Defendant's brief misses the mark on the legal standard to determine whether a defendant qualifies as a media defendant, and relies on conjecture untied to evidence in record in an attempt to show defendant as one according to the brief. So there it is there. The brief said Milagro made testimony that she emailed Lane's father information in an effort to try to show that Daystar Peterson was innocent. She also published information with no independent corroboration. She pushed it out to the masses in order to sway public sentiment. The station had contacted her lawyer's site isn't in trial evidence, and the evidence that was admitted shows a complete absence of impartiality, journalistic integrity, or desire to tell anything but a one-sided defamatory story. So let's look at defamation law. Okay. Right here, shout out to the People's Law Library of Maryland. Shout out to y'all. What is defamation? Defamation of character falls in two categories: libel and slander. Libel is a written including signs or pictures. Defamation slander is oral involving speech, a statement that's merely unflattering, annoying, embarrassing, or that hurts only the plaintiff's feelings is not considered defamatory. RSEC, libel, slander, related problems for Edition 2018, Volume 1. To prevail on a defamation claim, a plaintiff must establish the following: 1, that the defendant made a defamatory statement to a third person. 2, that the statement was false. 3, that the defendant was legally at fault in making the statement. And 4, that the plaintiff thereby suffered harm. Did y'all not hear about all the opportunities lost because of what happened? That was suffering harm financially, socially, okay, mentally, of course. That the defendant was legally at fault for making the statement. Yeah, they were legally at fault for making the statement because Florida law of promoting that deep fake adult video, that the statements were false, clearly because of that guilty verdict, and of course, making a defamatory statement to a third person. Remember how she said, I'm not taking nothing back and fucking sue me. Now, we're having a conversation, right? The question that we're trying to figure out tonight is, does new media pay people, and are they found guilty? Is that new media? That is the question we're trying to answer tonight. And like I said, I know a lot of people may not be here, but I'm still going to go on anyway because I think the information I have is very, very important. So glad to have two people here. A defamatory statement is one which tends to expose a person to public scorn, hatred, contempt, or ridicule, thereby discouraging others in the community from having a good opinion of or associating with that person. So there is that. Now, I wanted to bring up the Society of Professional Journalists since we're trying to figure out what's going on here. The preamble: members of the Society of Professional Journalists believe that public enlightenment is the forerunner of justice and the foundation of democracy. Ethical journalism strives to ensure the free exchange of information that's accurate, fair, and thorough. An ethical journalist acts with integrity. The society declares these 4 principles of ethical journalism and encourages their use in its practice by all people in media. So seek truth and report it. Ethical journalism should be accurate and fair. Journalists must be honest and courageous in gathering, reporting, and interpreting information. So all of these things right here, so I'm going to read them all. Journalists should take responsibility for the accuracy of their work, verify information before releasing it, use original sources whenever possible. Remember that neither speed nor format excuses inaccuracy. Let me zoom in on that. That's what the SPJ Code of Ethics says. Remember that neither speed nor format excuses inaccuracy. Remember that neither speed or format excuses inaccuracy. Provide context. Take special care not to misrepresent or oversimplify in promoting, previewing, or summarizing a story. Gather, update, and correct information throughout the life of a news story. Be cautious when making promises, but keep the promises they made. Identify sources clearly. The public is entitled to as much information as possible to judge the reliability and motivation of sources. Consider sources' motives before promising anonymity. Reserve anonymity for sources who may face danger, attribution, or other harm, and have information that cannot be obtained elsewhere. Explain why anonymity was granted. diligently seek subjects of news coverage to allow them to respond to criticism or allegations of wrongdoing. Avoid undercover or other serendipitous methods of gathering information unless traditional open methods will not yield information out to the public. Be vigilant and courageous about holding those with power accountable. Give voice to the voiceless. Support the open civil exchange of views, even views they found repugnant. Recognize a special obligation to serve as watchdogs over public affairs and government. Seek to ensure that the public's business is conducted in the open and that public records are open for all. Provide access to source material when it is relevant and appropriate. Boldly tell the story of the diversity and magnitude of the human experience. Seek sources whose voices you seldomly hear. Avoid stereotyping. Journalists should examine the ways their values and experiences may shape their reporting. Label advocacy and commentary. Label advocacy and commentary. Label advocacy and commentary. Advocacy is advocating for something with facts behind it. Commentary is, here are the facts, here is my opinion, and leave it there. Stick to the prompt, and the prompt won't be about you. Never deliberately distort facts or context, including visual information. Clearly label illustrations and reenactments. Let me read that 2 more times. Because did Milagro do that? Now listen, we're having an open conversation here. Never deliberately distort facts or context, including visual information. Clearly label illustrations and reenactments. Never deliberately distort facts or context, including visual information. Clearly label illustrations and reenactments. Never plagiarize, always attribute. So that's the first part of the Code of Ethics. Seek truth and report it. That's number 1. Number 2, minimize harm. Ethical journalism treats sources, subjects, colleagues, and members of the public as human beings deserving of respect. Journalists should balance the public's need for information against potential harm or discomfort. Pursuit of the news is not a license for arrogant or undue intrusiveness. Yeah. Show compassion for those who may be affected by news coverage. Use high-end sensitivity when dealing with juveniles, victims of sex crimes, and sources or subjects who are inexperienced and unable to give consent. Consider cultural differences in approach and treatment. Now, before anybody says, hey, you're doing too much with these code of ethics, she says she wanted to take an ethics course. I'm helping her with the study guide. But if you couldn't do the right thing the first time with ethics, what makes you think you'll pass the course? But that's neither here nor there. Moving on. Recognize that legal access to information differs from an ethical justification to publish or broadcast. Recognize that private people have a greater right to control information about themselves than public figures and others who seek power, influence, or attention. Weigh the consequences of publishing or broadcasting personal information. Avoid pandering to lure curiosity, even if others do. That says it right there. I did not look this up before the show. It says avoid pandering to lure curiosity, even if others do. Avoid pandering to lure curiosity, even if others do. Okay, that's what that says. Don't get mad at me. That's the code of ethics. All right, rolling up. Holy, balance a suspect's right to a fair trial with the public's right to know. Consider the implications of identifying criminal suspects before they face legal charges. Consider the long-term implications of the extended reach and permanence of publication. Provide updated and more complete information as appropriate. Number 3, act independently. The highest and primary obligation of ethical journalism is to serve the public. Journalists should avoid conflicts of interest, real or perceived, disclose unavoidable conflicts, refuse gifts, favors, fees, free travel, and special treatment, and avoid political or other outside activities that may compromise integrity, impartiality, or may damage credibility. Be wary of sources offering information for favors or money. I mean, Sunstar Peterson did send some money. Moving on. Identify content provided by outside sources, whether paid or not. Deny favored treatment to advertisers, donors, and any other special interests, and resist internal and external pressure to influence coverage. Distinguish news from advertising and shun hybrids that blur the lines between the two. Prominently label sponsored content. That also includes commentary. So you got to let them know this is not really news, it's commentary. You got to distinguish that. Okay. And finally, number 4, be accountable and transparent. Ethical journalism means taking responsibility for one's work and explain one's decisions to the public. Journalists should explain ethical choices and processes to audiences, encourage a civil dialogue with the public about journalistic practices and coverage and news content, respond quickly to questions about accuracy, clarity, and fairness, acknowledge mistakes and correct them promptly and prominently, explain corrections and clarifications carefully and clearly, expose unethical conduct in journalism, including within their organizations, abide by the same high standards they expect of others. So that is the code of ethics. Okay. All right. You can find that code of ethics in my description box below. Let's roll on. Now, here is the big question. Is a media defendant a journalist? I am. A media defendant is not necessarily a journalist, but often includes the news organization, which may employ journalists. While a journalist is someone who gathers and disseminates news, a media defendant is the party being sued, which can be an individual journalist or the company or organization that published the news. Therefore, a media defendant could be a company and or a journalist. Could be, doesn't mean that it is, right? So that's like ABC News is the company, Brainly being the journalist at ABC News. That is definitive. A media defendant is just labeling who you are in the case. Yeah, I know. So let's keep going, because one of the things that was interesting to me, right? One of the things that was interesting to me was this. Refresh this. And like I said, everything I'm saying is alleged. It's in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Okay, we're just having a conversation. That's all we're doing. So right here, this lawsuit here is a sexual assault lawsuit. Camp Mob, right, is obscenely a part, but the Milagro defendants are not merely social hosts. This is not the first Camp Mob event in this particular case. However, the Milagro defendants rented the venue, a single-family home, from Airbnb, right? So, Milagro defendants instructed guests that they could not use personal cell phones at Camp Mob. Plaintiffs learned after the fact that this had two intended purposes: ensuring that the Milagro defendants had exclusive contact with Camp Mob and preventing guests from summoning help, while John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 committed the SA upon Plaintiff Thomas. Milagro defendants orchestrating the environment and recording the assault for their own profit. So right here, two of the guests, John Doe 1, John Doe 2, were invited guests of Milagro Cooper. Their participation in the event was the direct result of Milagro's actions in creating control on the environment. So Milagro defendants encourage guests to consume excessive amount of alcohol using grass and THC vape pens. Guests consume these substances as directed and encouraged by Milagro defendants. Milagro defendants introduce a drinking game, Crucial Please, Russian Roulette, which required guests drinking shots of liquor for each card drawn. There was not a production team present, right? And by the way, before that, as far as plaintiffs were concerned, this was a promotional party, not an invitation to provide content to the Milagro defendants. Yeah, that to the timeline. Now, there was not a production team present. This Camp Mob was not marketed as a mock reality TV show or one that was intended to generate content to be exploited by Milagro defendants. Plaintiffs were not asked to execute liability waivers, consent forms regarding the use of their image and likeness. So whenever you appear on reality TV, or whenever you do an interview with ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, Fox News, or any outlet, you do have to sign a NDA, right? You give permission for your likeness, your physical likeness, your audio likeness, this, that, and the third. You give permission for that to be turned over to them, right? So you gotta sign off before you do an interview, before you tape something, this, that, and the third. Right here, Camp Mob included other events. Example, a wine tasting event earlier in the day. The express purpose of the wine tasting event was to ensure Camp Mob guests was intoxicated so that Milagro defense could exploit them. Camp Mob also included a group meal at the Breakfast Club located at 3711 Travis Street, Houston, Texas 77002. So you probably are wondering, Braylon, why are you bringing up Camp Mob, right? Well, as I did my research today, I did not see Camp ABC News. I didn't see Camp NBC News. I didn't see Camp Fox News. I didn't see Camp CBS News. I didn't see Camp Netflix. I didn't see Camp Hulu. I didn't see Camp HBO Max. So if you're going to go into the studio, that means you are a recording artist, right? That means you're not new media. And media organizations, they don't have camps with their consumers, right? Now, do they have cons like the D23 Expo? Sure, but that is a publicly known event. Everybody knows what it is, what it's for, and how to move through it, right? So Camp Mob is not new media. That's more of a media personality. You see where I'm going with this now? I did look up other camps. Now, here's a camp that everybody may or may not know about. It's called Camp Mariah. It is the summer component of the year-round cancer awareness program. Children ages 12 to 15 attend Camp Mariah for 3 weeks each summer. Participants apply in the 6th grade must be ages 11 to 13. Campers explore their interests in classes like film, photography, fashion, dance, culinary arts, and robotics. A careers class helps campers create resumes, cover letters, and conduct mock interviews. Campers also play team sports, swim every day, and explore the outdoors and environmental science class. Camp Mariah is named in honor of our board member, Ryan Carey, for her generous support. So, let's watch.
Camp Mariah.
Hang on 1 second. 1 second, yeah, 1 second, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Sorry, y'all, that was a work colleague there. Now let's watch this video on Camp Mariah. Okay, let's watch.
It's a beautiful place.
I'm able to just move around and be free out here.
Like everything here is like cozy and nice. It's great because there's so many people from different places.
There's a lot of activities where you work together.
Just make really close connections and create new bonds.
We learn a lot. We play games sometimes. But overall, we do fun activities.
You have different classes.
It's like school, but in a fun way.
My favorite class is swim. Green band is a level of like how good you swim. And the highest is yellow. I'm retaking the test today to get my
Come on, yellow band.
I
That's
really
awesome.
enjoyed chess. This was my first time learning, and now I'm actually pretty good in just 3 weeks.
My favorite class is performing arts, which is dance.
It's fun. It gets you energized. We're currently doing hip hop. We've been working on it since day one. We're gonna perform before dinner.
We have to like get all the clothes ready. We gotta get our choreo
This camp has
down.
been around
It's
for
really
years.
active, so that's what I love most
Don't know
about it.
Camp Mariah.
Culinary arts is where you learn how to make new foods. And right now we're making Rice Krispie treats.
Yesterday, we made pizza, and it was so good.
Environmental science is where we kind of like do research on animals, plants, and other insects like that.
All of the flowers, the plants.
In photography, we come up with ideas to take different pictures, how to angle different shots, and I really love taking pictures of the flowers. We have different activities that could possibly lead to what you want to do in the future.
Career class shows you a little more about what careers are, what types there are.
That's a part of the career awareness program, and it helps kids pursue their career
We mainly talked about what we like doing, what we're good at, what we enjoy.
We get taught how to start our resume.
There's a career fair tomorrow, and we're gonna get interviewed by counselors. This is the first time I've been interviewed. It's like really exciting.
It's very interesting because it has you thinking about what job is for you.
Camp Morale helps by providing a bunch of activities that relate to these careers and allows people to explore and see which one they will choose.
Robotics. I'm learning how to make new toys. I'm learning how to program different things, and I'm actually getting pretty good at it. We did coding and
I think that's Scratch.
project.
Did that against the University of
The
Science.
one that I'm
Scratch is
most
really
interested in is probably film.
Sound, rolling, action.
We have this final project, and it's like a little movie. I'm one of the actors. It's really fun.
To do film, I could back of the camera or the one recording or the gaffer. Camera is cool because you can find out that you would like things that you didn't even know you would want to try.
It teaches you a lot of life skills. It helps you discover.
My counselors, they're fun.
They're very kind here.
They'll be always supportive.
They can also teach you many things that can help you be more social in life.
CIT's counselors in training, they're very nice too.
I feel like Camp Mariah is helping me evolve as a different person.
The big change was like worrying about people not liking me. So far, I made friends with almost everyone I met.
awesome.
I was like very anxious, nervous, kind of shy a bit. Now I'm more like outgoing.
I'm definitely more expressive.
I would say I got stronger mentally and physically.
Biggest change was how energetic I am. Camp really made me open to more things. Just being more positive.
Definitely want to come back because I hope that I see some of the people that I saw already here or even some new people.
I only have 2 more days left, but I'm already excited for next year.
I feel great. I feel happier. I've learned a bunch of new skills, and I can use those back at home.
Camp Mariah is fun,
exciting,
adventurous,
active,
creative,
supportive,
joyful,
amazing.
Wow. I don't think any of those words were used for Camp Mob. I don't believe so. I don't believe any of those words were used for Camp Mob. Now, there is a thing as adult summer camps, right? So if Milagro is trying to do this, it's already been done, right? So from CBS Mornings, adult summer camps see surge of interest as people seek community and nostalgia. Summer camp isn't only for kids. Yelp reports nearly a 350% increase in searches for adult summer camps this year as people search for community and nostalgia. What's really cool is all the activities are planned for you, camper Kenny Rosenstock said. At Club Getaway in Kent, Connecticut, campers 21 and older come together every weekend to meet new friends and be a kid again. I did overnight camps when I was younger. I remember going out on the water, going rock climbing. Why not do that with some alcohol, said Shamia Brizo, one of the many who came to camp. Open to children during the week, Club Getaway has been welcoming adults for nearly 50 years. Wow, 50 years, that's amazing. I think people come here for an experience. They want to meet new people. They want to try different things and feel part of the community, even if it's just for a short period of time. David Schreiber, the camp's owner. It wasn't until recently, though, that programs doubled as interest spiked. Schreiber relates the growing interest to people yearning for a simpler time. Things are complicated right now. There's a simplicity that comes here, right? There's a sort of depth in the superficiality of just laughing at people and doing silly, zany things, he said. The desire to escape comes at 66% of workers, an all-time high, report feeling burnout along with rising levels of loneliness. It's hard to find friends, as an adult, Briscoe said, so like the fact that we can connect as adults and still just enjoy each other without our phones and just being happy, it means a lot. Adult summer camping tips from California to Connecticut. The average price is around $800 for a weekend getaway at adult summer camp. If you're interested in booking your own weekend, it is suggested you consider the age range of the other campers. You'll also want to think about what you want in terms of an experience, whether it's about making connections and having fun or a particular activity. So, what have we learned? The Camp Mob is not Camp Getaway, is not Camp Mariah. Now, before anybody says, okay, where's a black publication that's talking about this? I'm so glad you asked. I do my research very thoroughly. From Essence.com, adult summer camp is absolutely a thing and should be your next getaway. Whether you want to reminisce or feel like a kid at heart for the first time, summer camp is for grown folks too. Right here, this came out in 2024. Let's see here. Whenever people ask to see my prom photos, I can't do much other than shrug my shoulders, or sometimes I expound. Never went to prom, but I did spend prom night at Red Lobster with my cousin, and we enjoyed the Admiral's Feast and its biscuits. As an introvert, but also a poor kid, I missed most of those notable adolescent moments and even childhood staples like summer camp. That rite of passage of venturing home, and even if it was just for a long weekend, was something I never experienced. Not at least until I was in my 30s. Once I learned that adult summer camp was an actual thing, I was all in. My first time visiting Club Getaway in Connecticut, I was having no idea what I'm getting into undertaking. And I immediately felt my introvert meter going off the charts. I sat on the porch of my 2-person dormitory by myself and just took in the air, deep breaths in and out. I enjoyed the quiet, which was a nice change of pace from my Brooklyn apartment. A few hours later, my anxiety switched to, I can do this, as I met other campers during dinner, which is their family style. I sat next to an adorable black couple, and not only was it nice to see kinfolk in the space, but they shared that this was their second time visiting. I quickly learned why. It's rare for strangers from all walks of life to share such close quarters with each other, even if it's just for a weekend. But the number of repeat campers I encountered, and from so many different backgrounds, there was something to it. This didn't feel like the cliquish vibe that elementary and high school me would have been excluded from. Or at Camp Mob, where you could get raped. And you could get intoxicated and be abused. Oh, did that come out my mouth? I'm so sorry. Let's roll on. I had no idea these were the cool kids. These were just adults like me who simply wanted to have a carefree time from Friday to Sunday while it was still sunny and warm. There were 2 groups I saw who were a part of the Bachelorette weekend. It was easy to identify them with their magic tees and cream stick headbands. It absolutely made sense that this would be a perfect girls' weekend or bachelorette party with the built-in accommodation, meals taken care of, and unlimited alcohol. I opted for the Cheers package, which included drinks and any spirit-related activities like a mixology class or Bloody Marys in the morning. That's one element I clearly wouldn't have experienced as a kid at summer camp. I can say there's nothing more entertaining than watching a group of both slightly and over tipsy late 20s and 40-somethings on a slip and slide. But it wasn't just the flowing drinks that made this adult experience so different than what I would have imagined the kiddie summer camp version to feel like. Adult me also took advantage of every activity from sun up to sundown. This included a rock climbing wall, a zip line, and a ropes course. I'm not the most adventurous adult, so I went at my own pace, and something felt a little too out of my lane, like the Geronimo jump. I just sat out. No peer pressure, because who's going to pressure me? I'm grown. When my social battery was non-existent, I just sat lakeside while journaling. It was summer camp my way. By my second visit camp Club Getaway, I was camping. Adult summer camps are attracting a growing crowd, and for good reason. If you're interested in pampering your inner child while also having grown-up fun, here are a few options around the country offering various experiences, immaculate vibes, and good times. So there is Camp No Counselors for that Thursday through Sunday fun. Camp No Counselors is probably one of the coolest. It's probably one of the most well-known adult summer camps around. California location in the Sierra Nevada mountains sits on 75 acres. In the New York location, about 2 hours from New York City, is lakeside, even has a heated pool and 100-foot water slide. The camps offer traditional activities like lounging by the campfire and themed party nights. Some of their standard activities include the Friendship Walk on the first morning with icebreakers so people can meet new folks, and the Camp Olympics on the final day with challenges including dodgeball, lip syncing, and slip and slide flip cup. The bunk bed style accommodation sleeps up to 12 people, and for larger groups, the camp offers a private cabin upgrade. The dates sell out fast, so the website offers a waiting list to sign up. Camp. Since 1997, a summer camp, some called Camp, has been a safe space for the LGBTQIA plus community. Folks who come from all over the country, even the world. Not only will you find a geographical variety of visitors, but in recent years, the campers have ranged in age from 21 to 81 years young. That's amazing. Shout out to the 81-year-olds camping. Yes, indeed. The communal the communal cabins that sleep up to 18 people are each named after a famous LGBTQIA plus person, including civil rights leader Rainier Rustin. Camp events range from arts and crafts, improv theater, and dance, and sports like pickleball or capture the wig. That would be so hilarious to watch. Oh my God, that would be funny. A modified version of Capture the Flag, and like any good summer camp, the evening activities are festive with themes like the pajama party and lip sync throwdown. Campers this year are communing Central America, the 26th annual event. Camp Halakon. Halakon means an ideal time or period characterized by happiness, and fans at Camp Halakon describe their experience as just that. You'll find bunk bed and cot style sleeping accommodations, activities like archery, water sports, karaoke, and unlike some camps that charge a separate fee for any activities that include alcohol, Camp Haran is truly all inclusive. There's a nightly cocktail bar as well as mimosa morning. My kind of party. With a range of morning and afternoon activity blocks, there's something for the adventurer and the camper who wants to lounge. The camp has been around since 2016 in Wisconsin. This year, they added sites in the Poconos and Michigan. CIA Foods. This is one summer camp that isn't solely for summer, but specific to the foodies. For those looking to improve their skills in the kitchen, the Culinary Institute of America offers CIA Foodies. Classes are held year-round, and in San Antonio, Napa, and Hyde Park, New York. The boot camp style cooking lessons range from baking to wine, country cuisine, and the popular Best of Camp that has a theme each day. Try a 4-day camp, but you also can't go wrong with the short 2-day option, as both provide hands-on lessons and a state-of-the-art kitchen. Many of the popular camps reach capacity months in advance. So let's make sure of something, right? So Milagros don't go into the studio, right? Because anywhere else is but yet her lyrics could be used in court. So you're not new media if you're a music artist, right? Okay. You also said, and I quote, that Camp Mob was for your people, this, that, and the third. But like I said, there's no ABC News Camp, NBC News, CBS News, Fox News, Hulu, HBO Max, Netflix camp. Those don't exist. LL Cool J doesn't have a camp. Queen Latifah doesn't have a camp. But these adult camps exist, right? So it's quite interesting. And here is Club Getaway right here, right? So here it is right here. So this is Club Getaway. Just to show y'all this here. You can see. And like I said, I don't say anything without receipts, right? So you can see it's been on Forbes, Business Insider, MTV News, Huffington Post, Bravo, Oprah Daily, right? So here is the camp for adults. Right here. On-site activities, on-site events and parties, rustic chic cabins, and all-inclusive meals. So right here, all of this included, less than $600, 3.5 days inclusive package, inclusive alcohol package, $169, but it looks like they are getting rid of that, included for the very last time. So our Thanksgiving registration sale is live through December 5th, so you got until tomorrow to lock in your 2026 weekend our best value of the year now with the Cheers package included for the very last time. So this is the things that you can do, as you can see here. So you got sports theme party, crazy Olympics, nightlife adventure park, fitness and dance classes, sports theme parties, crazy Olympics. So there are things to do, right? There are definitely things to do. So I just wanted to bring that up. And then, of course, here is your lake cabin at Club Getaway. Okay, so just since everybody's defending Milagro, I'm like, well, let's see if she's new media by other people who are already doing what she's done. Memory foam mattresses, private bathrooms, heat and AC, 2 to 4 twin beds, all-ins included, daily housekeeping, delicious and nutritious, delicious options for vegetarians, kosher, gluten-free diets upon request. And then here are all those reviews right there. So there is that. Now, I want y'all to know something, right? Remember when Milagro said that, she did something for new media and Mob Radio did something for me and people ain't respecting Mob Radio and her and this, that, and the third and all that big stuff. Do you know how long media's been around? Media's been around this long. Media is as old as human communication, with early forms like cave painting dating back tens of thousands of years. The history of modern mass media begins with writing around 3,400, so 3,400, by significant technological shifts, most notably the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, which made mass production possible. So you mean to tell me that the verdict, right, of Milagro Gramz being a media defendant is bigger than media existing? Is this what we're doing? Okay. Now, before we roll on to the big kahuna that I got for y'all, see, I had a dog walk this thing because at the beginning, middle, end of the day, it is what it is, right? And everybody's going to, whoever's going to support Milagro is going to support Milagro, whoever's going to support Meg is going to support Megan. But like I said, is new media about paying people and being found guilty? That is the question, right? So we've seen through lyrics, no, that's not part of new media. Doing camps, that's not part of new media at all, right? And we also see that media's been around a lot longer than Milagro Gramz and Mob Radio, right? So I just wanted to bring up these numbers, right? So with YouTube, 7,280,000 subscribers for Megan Thee Stallion versus 78,000, right? Total views, 3,734,821,351 total views versus 351,323 total views. Grand total, a difference of 7,202,000 subscribers and a difference of 3,734,470,028 total views. So who's bigger? I think that would be Megan. Let's go over to TikTok. Follower count, 16,700,000 followers. Follower count, 169,900. Total views, 228,800,000 total views. Okay? Or likes, whatever the hell, right? Likes, 3,500,000. So, a difference, grand total, a difference of 16,530,100 followers, and a difference of 225,300,000 total likes. So Megan's bigger on TikTok. Twitter, 8,200,000, followed by 6,620. So a difference of 8,193,380 followers. So Megan is bigger on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. And then, of course, we go to Instagram. 33 million followers versus 44,100 followers. Grand total difference of 32,995,900 followers. So I'm just a little confused of who's bigger. Just a little confused. Now, I did say I had a bomb for y'all. Did I not? And I do. Check this out right here. Appeals court overturns defamation award against blogger. You're probably wondering, Bray, what's that article about? You really want to know? You really want to know? See, I had to dog walk this thing because I couldn't give this to you at the beginning. I couldn't give it to you at the beginning. I could not give it to you at the beginning. So let me read this from the Los Angeles Times here. Okay. Right here. San Francisco. A federal appeals court unanimously overturned a defamation award against a blogger Friday, ruling that the First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. Let me say that 2 more times for y'all. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the headline. Appeals court overturns defamation award against blogger. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. The protections of the First Amendment do not turn on whether the defendant was a trained journalist formerly affiliated with traditional news entities. Judge Andrew D. Hurwitz wrote for a 3-judge panel of the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The panel said it's holding was the first of its kind within the 9th Circuit, though other circuit courts have held individuals have the same free speech rights the news media. This case is the first one from a federal court of appeals that specifically protects the rights of bloggers, said UCLA constitutional law professor Eugene Volk, who represent blogger Crystal Cox on appeal. Wait a minute, Brian, who's Crystal Cox? Friday's ruling paved the way for a new trial for Cox, who accused the company of illegal conduct on several websites she created. The 9th Circuit said Cox apparently has a history of making similar allegations and seeking payoffs in exchange for retraction. Obsidian Finance Group, an Oregon firm that advises financially troubled businesses, and Kevin D. Patrick, one of its principals, sued Cox after she accused them of fraud, corruption, and other misconduct in connection with a bankruptcy by one of Obsidian's clients. A court appointed Patrick to serve as the Chapter 11 trustee in bankruptcy, charged him with marshaling the assets of the bankrupt firm to pay off clients whose money has been misappropriated in a Ponzi scheme, the 9th Circuit said. Cox blog posts raised questions about whether they were failing to protect the defrauded investors because they were in league with their original clients, the court said. A district court in Oregon held that all but one of Cox's posts was constitutionally protected opinion, but allowed a trial on a blog that accused Patrick of having failed to pay taxes that his client company owed. Cox represented herself at the trial. The jury awarded the plaintiffs a total of $2.5 million in damages. Cox appealed. She did not contest the jury's finding that her post was false and damaged reputations, but she argued she cannot be held liable unless the jury first determined that she had acted with negligence or malice. Now, some of y'all are like, wait a minute, Brian, where are you going with this? The 9th Circuit said the jury should have been instructed to decide whether Cox had behaved negligently because her posts involved a matter of public concern but were not aimed at a public official. Under settled law, a public official who seeks compensation for defamation must prove that the defendant acted with actual malice, publishing a statement known to be false or reckless with disregard or with reckless disregard for the truth, rather. The court said bankruptcy trustees are compensated from the assets of the Chapter 11 estate that they administer, not the government, therefore are not public officials. Finding of malice would be required, though, before a jury could award monetary damages for presumed but unproven harm to the plaintiff's reputations, the court said. The panel rejected Osinian's claims that Cox's other blog posts were defamatory. She accused Osinian of having paid off media and politicians and the company, and said the company might have hired a hitman to delete her. She used terms rather such as thugs and evildoers in almost stream of consciousness sentences. The court said the rants were so extreme that no one would have taken them for objective fact, the court said. While we are disappointed in the ruling, we do know that the court concluded that there was no dispute that the statements were false and defamatory. Lawyers for Osinian said in a prepared statement, Ms. Cox's false and defamatory statements have caused substantial damage to our clients, and we are evaluating our options with respect to the court's decision. Now, do you know when this article came out? I'm going to show you. You ready? Here we go. This article came out January 17th, 2014. 12 years before Milagro's case. So the wind that Milagro is going around talking about, appeals court overturns defamation award against blogger. Right? So right here from legal analysis and commentary from Justa. Now, Justa, if you don't know what Justa is, a Let me show you what Justa is. It's a very big thing. So right here, Justa, right here, where you can find all types of stuff. You can find a lawyer, ask a lawyer, research law. You can find cases. Justa's a huge thing. So this is from the website, right? Okay, so just want to just show this. The Ninth Circuit holds correctly that a blogger has the same defamation protection as a journalist. February 3rd, 2014. Y'all, Milagro didn't do anything. This was already adjudicated, done, and everything in between. But my radio didn't know that. Milagro didn't know that. Right here. On January 17th, a three-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit ruled as a matter of first impression that the First Amendment defamation rules apply equally to both the institutional press and individual speakers and writers such as bloggers. Okay? Okay. Want to know who else talked about this? California Anti-SLAPP Project, right here. Right here. January 23rd, 2014. On Friday, Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals Judge Andrew Hirsch issued an opinion in Obscene Finance Group, LLC versus Cox. His opening line was as follows. This case requires us to address a question of first impression. What First Amendment protections are afforded to a blogger sued for defamation? This important new decision involving a blog post by blogger Crystal Fox in which she accused a financial firm and its bankruptcy trustee of tax fraud. At the trial court level, the judge rejected Cox's First Amendment arguments concerning the liability standards that should govern the case, reasoning that she had failed to submit evidence suggestive of her status as a journalist. However, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed that decision, holding that the protections of the First Amendment do not turn on whether the defendant was a trained journalist formerly affiliated with traditional news entities, as the Supreme Court accurately warned. A First Amendment distinction between the institutional press and other speakers is unworkable. Right here. The court then went on to quote some of the only rational language, in my opinion, from Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission. With the advent of the internet and the decline of print broadcast media, the line between media, others who wish to comment on political and social issues, becomes far more blurred. The Ninth Circuit ultimately held that Cox should get a new trial, and the distinction between bloggers and traditional reports is irrelevant in this context. Eugene Volk, a UCLA law professor who represented Cox, know the importance of this decision in the era of online content. In this day and age, with so much important stuff produced by people who are not professionals, it's hard than ever to decide who is a member of the institutional press. Oh, you know who else covered this? Politico. See, now I knew some people were gonna be like, Bray, you made up this story, this, that, there. Oh, no. I have receipts. Politico also covered this as well. Right. Under the radar, appeals court rules blogger press gets same protection. A federal appellate court ruled Friday that the author of a blog post deserves the same treatment in a defamation case as institutional media. The three-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals held unanimously that there is no difference between a journalist or a media outlet and another speaker when it comes to First Amendment protections. This was ruled in 2014. Milagro did not do shit. Mob Radio did not do shit. But I bet you, not only did Milagro not know, Mob Radio didn't know, but that judge probably didn't even know. Here's another one from Reuters. Blogger gets same speech protections as traditional press, U.S. court. Right here, a blogger is entitled to the same free speech protections as traditional journalists, cannot be held for defamation unless she acted negligently. A federal appeals court ruled on Friday. Yeah, so Reuters covered this. And also, too, USA Today. Yeah, that USA Today. Yeah, that USA Today right here. Right here. A federal appeals court ruled on Friday that bloggers and the public have the same First Amendment protections as journalists when sued for defamation. If the issue is a public concern, plaintiffs have the right to prove negligence to win damages. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ordered a new trial of defamation lawsuit brought by an Oregon bankruptcy trustee against a Montana blogger who wrote online that the court appointee trustee criminally mishandle a bankruptcy case. So, yeah, that came out in 2014. So Milagro didn't do shit at all. So, with all of this being said, does new media pay people and being found guilty? Is that new media? I say no, it's not. Now, of course, people are going to be upset. They're going to be pissed, this, that, and the third. They're going to say, oh my God, how dare you say all this? This is a win for new media. When it was already founded in 2014 that this has already been adjudicated. It's already been tested, already been proven that, yeah, this happened in 2014. 12 years before Milagro did her victory lap. Okay. So, listen, Milagro's going to believe she's new media. She's not. Okay. Mob radio, it's a cult. They don't care about black men. They don't care about black women. They don't care about black children. They don't care about black babies. They don't care about the black elderly. They don't care about anybody but themselves. And to her supporters, listen, you have the right to support her. But like I asked you before, if somebody powed you in the foot or on your body or powed any woman in your life on their part, on any part or the foot, and was malicious and going after them, would you stand up for that person like you did for Milagro? That's the only question I have for you. That's it. So yes, in case you do not know, right here from the LA Times, a federal appeals court unanimously overturned defamation award against the blogger Friday. Ruling First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This article was published January 17th of 2014. Now, you're probably wondering, Bray, why did you put that in your description box? You think you're going to get me? No. I am a media nerd that studies this shit, breathes this shit, eats this, lives this, moves throughout this space, okay? So, if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to the live. Like you said, you don't get on live and cry about what people said about you, right? But if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond. But if you do respond, it must be true to some degree. But if you do respond, make sure you bring up this article from the Los Angeles Times. Appeals court overturns defamation award against blogger. A federal appeals court unanimously overturned a defamation award against a blogger Friday, ruling the First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This article came out January 17th of 2014. So Milagro did not win shit. This was already done in 2014. 12 years before Milagro's case. And you know what? I'll be generous. I'll drop the link in the chat. Because I'm like that. You know? I'm like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And let me drop the date as well. And like I said, you can find this article right here. There it is, right there. That's the link to the article that will tell you that bloggers already have First Amendment rights. Okay? So, Milagro did not do shit. If you're wondering what the other sources were, I'll be glad to let you know. So I got from Verdict, right here. Verdict, legal analysis and commentary from Justin. I also got from the California Anti-SLAPP Project. I also got from Politico. I also got the story from Reuters. And, of course, I got from USA Today via the Associated Press. That's how you break news. Okay? I'm going to turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Child, listen. Y'all can believe what you want to believe, do what you want to do, and be how you want to be. But please, for the love of all God, make sure you do your research before you open up your mouth. Please and thank you. Okay? Because my Lord, I mean, just, and like I said, I just went online and just wanted to see this. And I'm just like, you got to be joking me. You got to be joking me. So that story right there is about that right there. Okay? So it already happened in 2014. In case you guys are coming into the live, yeah, milagro Gramz didn't do shit. Because this article here says a federal appeals court unanimously overturned a defamation award against a blogger, ruling that the First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This article was published January 17th of 2014. 12 years before Milagro's case with Megan Thee Stallion. So, that's what happens when you do research, ladies and gentlemen, okay? My Lord, when you do research, okay? I can't do it. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. So, listen, y'all gonna believe what y'all going to believe. But I just wanted to just give y'all the full picture, okay? Not just a fifth quarter or a half of a picture. So yeah, this was already proven in 2014. Yeah, a court already ruled that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. Yeah, so this was already adjudicated. Already went through a court. A decision was already made. So yeah, this article came out in 2014. So this right here, that link is about this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you all of you are looking real stupid right now for allowing her to have that victory lap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was already adjudicated. Yeah. In 2014, there was a whole case between a blogger and a financial company. They went to court, and the court said that this blogger had First Amendment protection. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, listen, is what it is. Mm-hmm. Hey, 4 people, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Had a conversation. Well, I showcased the presentation basically of is new media paying people and being found guilty in a court of law, is that new media? And I believe no. And this article here from the LA Times basically talked about a case that already happened in 2014. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 12 years before Milagro's case, that already ruled that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. So this new media thing is not a thing for Milagro. It's not a new thing for Mob Radio. It's not a new thing for anybody that supports her. It's not. Because this was already decided in 2014. Yeah. I know. Your brain's like, wait, what? Bray, are you serious? Very serious. I don't play when it comes to research. I don't. I'm about my business. Okay? So yeah, now I'm going to rest for a little bit because to get all that in live, let me tell you something. That was some work. That was some real work. But you know what? I didn't mind doing it. So like I said, this article right here is about a blogger against a financial company in Oregon. And guess what? A federal appeals court unanimously overturned the defamation award against the blogger on that Friday, ruling that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. So yeah, that happened in 2014. Yeah, that happened in 2014, 12 years before Milagro's case. So this new media thing, it's not really a thing for Milagro. It's not. It's not a win for Mob Radio. I'm not ever going to put respect on Mob Radio. I'm never going to put respect on Milagro Gramz. Just not going to do it. And also, too, that's my freedom of choice to do that. Like I said, this was already decided 2014 that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. Yeah, so, you know. And A753 said, no, not yet, LOL, for Camp Mob. Well, you're right. It hasn't happened yet. That media personality has been able to do a camp and, to be, recording artists. But most music artists are not being commentators. They're not. So is Milagro a recording artist? Is she a media personality or is she a commentator? I'm just asking a question. But yeah, this case right here that ruled that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This was decided in 2014. This article from Los Angeles Times right here came out January 17th of 2014. Yeah. I know. And like I said, if anybody wants to fact check me, please do. Please do. Because I know y'all won't. But here it is here from the verdict, legal analysis and commentary from Justa, the California Anti-SLAPP Project, Politico, Reuters, and USA Today, courtesy of the Associated Press. I do my job very well over here. Child. That made no damn sense. Hey, 3 people, y'all can drop in the chat. I'm not gonna bite. Except I bite with the truth, though. So please be careful. But otherwise, glad to have you here. We're just chillaxing, y'all. And like I said, at the beginning, middle, end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, be who they want to be, and move throughout the world how they want to move throughout the world. But that does not mean that you get to just do what you want to do without facts. But yeah, like I said, this was already decided in 2014. That what you're seeing on your screen, that was decided in 2014. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the 2 people here right now with me. Appreciate y'all. 3 people. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are wondering what's going on, you saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. This case was done in 2014, and in this case, a Ninth Circuit appeals court ruled that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This was decided in 2014, 12 years before Milagro's case with Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. So this win of the judge saying that she's media, it's not really nothing, honestly. And guess what? Here's the thing. And shout out to AT2 rather. He said, and I quote, if she would have got sent the cease and desist letter, would she have changed anything? Probably not. And this is coming from the person who said, I'm not taking nothing back, sue me. And she came on, she said she was in financial distress and crowdfunded money. Why would you need to crowdfund money if you got it like that? Just asking a question. Just asking a question. But just know, Milagro, we corrected some things. But we also broke down some things too. So yes, indeed. Hey, 4 people, welcome in. Glad to have you here. This article here talks about a case where it was decided by a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, a 3-judge panel, that they decided that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. That was decided in 2014, 12 years before Milagro's case. So when Milagro said what she said, it didn't mean anything. Now, a lot of people don't know about the case, right? Of course, I do my research. So, hey, 5 people, welcome in. Glad to have you here. But yes, indeed. Let me zoom out and read this article for y'all here. So, right here, the panel said it was holding the first of its kind within the Ninth Circuit, though other circuit courts have held that individuals have same free speech rights as news media, right? So this case right here was between a blogger by the name of Miss Cox, Obsidian Finance Group, right? So they had a battle, this, that, and the third. Miss Cox did not deny that the post was defamatory, but she also still on the fact that she had the right to her opinion. And so because of that, right here, a federal appeals court unanimously overturned the defamation award against a blogger Friday, ruling that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. So this was decided in 2014, 12 years before Milagro's case. 12 years. years, a decade and 2 years, add it up. So I just want to come on, give my commentary. Like I said, everything that you need to know is in my description box. And of course, I showcase each website so that way you can pause it, type it in your search bar, and you can find these same stories. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break. We're going to play our theme song. We'll be back right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braille only got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braille only's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braille only's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braille Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braille Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced, and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braille Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done away with. Braille Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
And that is who I am, and that's what we are about over here. So, y'all, that's it. That's all I got for you. Listen, I had to dog walk it for you to get to this part of the show. Like I said, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have you here. You saw the thumbnail. In case you do not know what this is, there was a blogger, by the way, everybody. So, yes, another blogger. I know, another one. But this person here, her name was Crystal Cox, and she went after a finance group, right, called Obsidian Finance Group, an Oregon firm that advises financially troubled businesses. And Kevin D. Patrick, one of its principals, sued Cox after she accused them of fraud, corruption, and other misconduct in connection with a bankruptcy by one of upsetting its clients. A court ordered Patrick to serve as the Chapter 11 trustee in the bankruptcy and charged him with marshaling the assets of the bankrupt firm to pay off clients whose money has been misappropriated in Ponzi scheme, the Ninth Circuit said. So, a district court in Oregon held that all but one of Cox's posts was constitutionally protected opinion, but allowed a trial on a blog that accused Patrick of having failed to pay taxes that his client company owed. Cox represented herself at the trial. The jury awarded plaintiffs a total of $2.5 million in damages. Cox appealed. She did not contest the jury's finding that her posts were false and damaged reputations, but she argued that she could not be held liable unless the jury first determined that she had acted with negligence or malice. So because of that, right, this court decided that they ruled that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web. This article came out January 17th of 2014. 12 years before Milagro's case, okay? 12 years before Milagro's case, this was decided. So if you want the link to this story, it's right there. Like I said, also too, you can go to Verdict, which is legal analysis and commentary by Justa, VERDICT, legal analysis and commentary from JUSTIA. The Ninth Circuit holds correctly that a blogger has the same defamation protection as a journalist. That article came out February 3rd, 2014. You can also go to the California Anti-SLAPP, SLAPP project, fighting slaps and protecting the First Amendment. Bloggers entitled to the same free speech protections as traditional journalists. That came out January 23rd, 2014. Politico, appeals court rules blogger press gets same protections by Tal Copran. January 17th, 2014. Reuters, January 17th, 2014. From Reuters, blogger gets same speech protections as traditional press. U.S. court. Like I said, January 17th, 2014 by Dan Levine from Reuters. And then, of course, by the Associated Press. USA Today court. Bloggers have First Amendment protections. Associated Press, January 20th, 2014. So those are all the sources that I have on this story right here. Okay, so just know Milagro didn't do shit for new media. The mob did not do shit for new media. Everybody who support her, this doesn't do shit. Because guess what? You can still be sued as new media. I bet you this, though, let Milagro do this shit again and she'll fuck around and find out. And it was never about the money. It was about the principle of the thing. That's what a lot of people miss. And once again, I ask you, if Milagro, Gramz, or anybody else attach you or someone you know with the same vitriol, hate, and derogatory behavior about you getting pounded in the foot, a woman that you care about getting pounded in the foot, or anywhere on her body, or anywhere on your body, or on your foot, would you stand up for Milagro? Or would you go to hell for the principle? That's the only question I have for y'all. If y'all can't fight for principle, I guess that tells me everything I need to know about y'all ass. I'm just keeping it a book. So, with that being said, let me get y'all the Daily Motivator, and we're going to head on out of here because I did my job tonight. And like I said, if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to me. Don't respond to me. Don't respond to me. But if you do respond to me, it must be true to some damn degree. Okay? All right. Nothing happens unless first a dream. Carl Sandburg. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Thursday, December 4th, 2025. Deeply felt purpose. You can always come up with a reason for giving up. So you must ever be prepared with even a more compelling reason to move forward. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the abundance of purpose. Knowing why will not only enable you to figure out how, knowing why will push you to make it happen. Look into what you care about more than anything else, and that's where you'll find the fortitude to act decisively and persistently. Creativity, innovation, persistence, patience, and maximum effectiveness do not occur in a vacuum. They occur where there is deeply felt purpose. What reality truly matters to you, that's what drives you to do great things. Ralph Morrison. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was like, "You really are like dedicated to, you know, this case." I said, not necessarily, right? I'm dedicated to the fact that right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm dedicated to the fact that everybody is not above the law. But most of all, I'm covering this for the fact of the media industry, because whatever we don't confront, we allow. So the first thing I would say about deeply felt purpose is that whether 1 million people watch or one person's watching, make sure you are authentic. Because believe me, you blessings that come from God, they send through. You know how like you make a purchase at a grocery store, you make a purchase somewhere, and when you pay for it, it says approved. Blessings from God are approved. Curses from the devil get denied. So just remember that. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Even though we all have options, doesn't mean every option is a valuable option. Just because we have options doesn't mean every option is a valuable option. Just because we have options doesn't mean every option is a valuable option. Because you saw what happened to Milagro, right? She wrote a check that her ass couldn't cash, and now her ass has to cash out $59,000. Mind you, she's negative $10,000 in the hole. And she lost her only source of income, her stationary contract, right? So you can be about your purpose and make that decision, but you also got to be grown enough to handle the consequences. And finally, the last thing I will tell y'all about deeply felt purpose is that everyone's not going to have the space to hear you out. That's not their job. It's not their job to make space for you to be heard out. It is your job to understand that your purpose is for you. When you understand your space determines how you move, you will be less stressed about who gives a damn and who don't give a damn. But trust and believe. Whoever don't want to give a damn will eventually have to. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. And with that being said, it's time for this outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you will always want a blessing. Trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Well, it's one thing to call yourself, it's another to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, we'll have some great together. Now, always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just proving the fact that held to the low that a Ninth Circuit Court already approved, gave a verdict, and signed, sealed, and delivered that First Amendment protections for traditional news media extends to individuals posting on the web, and that it was already decided, okay? It was already decided in 2014, 12 years before Milagro thought she had a win. Make sure and of course, before Milagro, Mob Rail, and everybody else who support her thought that they had a win. Make sure the replay is not just for you. Watch it, not just for you. Listen to it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you. I value. I appreciate you all. Always remember, see love the guy, give it. See love the guy, give it. See love the guy, give it. Wherever obstacles you've overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud. But no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all listen. Just know this. Just because a person has a really good face, don't mean that what they're saying holds any weight. Just because a person has a good face and they're putting on a good face doesn't mean what they're saying holds any weight. Just because a person has a good face and showcasing a good face doesn't mean that they're holding any weight to what they're saying. Words can be said by anybody. Actions are executed by somebody. Words can be said by anybody. Actions are executed by somebody. Words can be said by anybody, but actions are executed by somebody. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel love. And send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying